Before we get into how to use Trade, the first step is creating an account. You will find my Trade referral link in the description. I'd really appreciate if you could use that link. It doesn't benefit you in any way, but it helps me compensate for the time and effort I put into making these videos. So first click on the referral link in the description. Once the page opens, sign up using your email. That's my preferred and simplest way to register. Complete the sign up process, set your credential, and once that's done, log into Trade using the same credential. Once you have logged in, the next step is to add your trading account to Trade. Right now, Trade supports Hyperliquid, Aster, Pacific, Paradox, Extended, and Nano. You need to decide where you want to market make, whether your goal is to earn points, PNL, or both. For this tutorial, I'll be using Paradox. The reason is simple. The Paradox is currently the cheapest place to market make on Trade. Trade does not charge a builder fee on Paradox, and Paradox itself has zero trading fees. On other exchanges, you usually pay exchange trading fees plus 0.02% builder fee to trade on every trade. So for beginners, Paradox makes the most sense. To connect Paradox, click on the wallet icon. Then click connect wallet, select your wallet. You have to choose your account name before that. Just put some random names. Click on connect wallet, choose your wallet, and it will ask you to connect your wallet and sign some transactions. I've already linked my Paradox wallet, so I won't be doing this step. Once your wallet is linked to Trade, bot as API access to Trade on your behalf. Now go to the bot section. Click on Market Maker Bot. Under Account, select your Paradox account. Now choose the pair you want to market make. When choosing a pair, I always look for clear ranging price action. On Paradox, ETH and PAXG usually works well. Time selection is just as important as the pair. Avoid running the board during New York market open, which is 9:30 a.m. New York time. This is when volatility is high and stop losses get hit easily. Instead, use New York afternoon session after like 11:30 a.m. New York time or around 2:30 p.m. New York time. If you prefer the London session, trade after 5 a.m. New York time when price is usually ranging before New York opens. The main idea is simple. Pick a pair that ranges during quiet periods. I'll now open a PAXG chart and show you what a good ranging period looks like. Okay, I'll use a 5 minute charts for gold. So this is what a ranging condition looks. If you open your run your board during this time, you can actually make some profit on your bot order. But if you open somewhere here, then your bot can get a stop loss triggered. So the idea is to run bot when the price is ranging. So these are some of the examples when the price is range. So how do you determine these price ranges? Are like once it takes a previous high or when it reaches a previous consolidated area, like this, these are the previously consolidated areas. So once price reaches these points, it usually tends to range. So I actually wait for like 5-6 candles to see like lots of inside candles. See, you see a lot of inside candles. So when these inside day candles gives you an idea that okay, there will be some ranging going on. So see, again you can see once the price has taken this high, it starts ranging here. You can see a lot of inside candles and stuff. So you need to you need to go through the chart and see where price usually range and what times price usually ranges. See, this is like New York afternoon session, which is like 11:30 to Asia session. So that's when price usually ranges, and this is when this is also Asia session. So price usually ranges during those London afternoon session, Asia like New York afternoon session. So You need to, like, whichever pair you are trying to market make, you have to go through the chart and see where do they actually ranges. So that is the most important step, is to find trading ranges. So once you have that, then it's easy for you to, like, actually make some PNL on these bot orders. Once you have identified the pair and the right market condition, the next step is margin. A margin determines how much balance you are using and how much volume you want to target. For example, if you want to target $10,000 in volume bot using 20x leverage, which I consider ideal, you'll need around $25 margin. So for the pair, I'm gonna choose PaxG from Paradex. Margin is 25. It's gonna, with 20x leverage, you can target around $10,000 volume. However, never use your entire balance. So always keep 2 to 3 times extra margin in your account. Otherwise, your bot may run into insufficient margin errors. So always keep a buffer and don't allocate everything into one order. And next is participation rate. This setting controls how fast your order is built. You have two main options, like aggressive, no, three main options: aggressive, normal, and passive. So the aggressive builds your order very quickly, meaning most of your exposure gets built around a single price point. Passive builds your position slowly like a ladder. For example, on a 10K order, the maximum exposure you'll have at any given time is roughly around 450 to $500. Aggressive works best in tight ranges, and passive works better in large ranges. Passive takes more time, so you need to decide based on current price action. You need to see the ranges and determine if you want to go through passive or aggressive. For this example, I'll just use passive. And next is reference price, and this is very important setting. The first option is mid price. Mid price is mainly optimized for volume and not PNL. It works even if the market is trending, but you will usually incur a small negative PNL. So if you choose mid price, you need to calculate whether the points you earn are worth the fees and small losses. You can also apply directional bias like long, short, or neutral, and if your bias is correct, you can make slight profit. This was the first iteration of the trade board, and it's the easiest option if you're new and don't know how to read charts. And next is the grid board, which is the most popular option. This is where most people make money and also where most people lose money. Grid is used to lock in profit at a specific spread. For example, grid plus 1. So you can use this slider to choose your spread. So grid plus 1 ensure that every buy price is lower than the sell price, locking in 1 basis point profit before closing a position. However, if price move against you before filling your take profit, your board can stall and eventually hit stop loss. That's why grid boards work best in sideways zigzag market, not trending markets. There are other spread option, like from plus 1 you can go up to plus 50. Higher profit per trade but higher chance of stalling. Higher spread means you can, if you select 5 bps or 3 bps, it will wait until your entry is 3 to 5 bps in profit before taking profit. So but there is a higher chance of stalling if your profit level is not hit, and the trade moves against you. And there are also spread option from -1 to -50. You are saying to the board that you are ready to accept -1 spread loss so that the board doesn't stall. Negative spreads like -1 are popular because there is less chance of the board getting stuck. I'll add additional guides on mid and grid boards in the description. And next is blend mode. This isn't very popular yet. I haven't tested it enough to make a full guide. It uses external exchange prices as reference. I'll make a separate video on blend once I've tested it more. Now let's talk about risk management. First is stop loss. If you set a 10% stop loss, the bot will cancel order and close exposure once your loss exceeds 10% of your margin. For example, if your margin is $25, the stop loss would be around $2.50. This ensures you don't get liquidated. Next is grid reset threshold. This setting else when your bot gets stalled. For example, if you set it to 50%, the bot will accept that loss and restart around the current price instead of waiting to fully hit stop loss. This gives the bot another chance to work under new price conditions. If you're starting out, I recommend these beginner settings: 20x leverage, grid plus 1 spread, 50% grid reset threshold, and a 10% stop loss. Run a few 10k orders first to understand how the bot behaves under the right market conditions. Once everything is set, click Start Trading. Your bot is now running. You can track everything inside the orders page. When you open the orders page, under Fill Quantity, you will see an orange dotted line. When you hover it, it shows maximum exposure tolerance, the maximum exposure your bot can build. Once your exposure reaches this limit, and if you are using grid plus 1, the bot will only close position when 1 basis point profit is achieved. The white line shows your current exposure. You can also see current PNL, exchange fee, execution details, and that's how you use trade market maker board from start to finish.